So the basic EPS basically is about the numerator and denominators, right? Earnings going to be numerators and the share is going to be denominators. That's what we did last time. But the thing is, the denominators is quite tricky for you to look at because you have to think about the share. The share may not be stable across time. Alright, so that's why when we have something like, well, you got share before and then during the year you issue the new share, you need to do weighted average across time. That's why the first examples right here just try to tell you, well, if everything is like this, like on January the 1st, you got 60 million share outstanding and you got 12 million share issue on March the 1st. This is what we do. We need to wait across time. And that's what happened. Just like 60 million share is last for 1 year. For about 12 million share, it's last for only 10 months. That's why we need to wait like that. That's what we did last time. If you go to the second example, that's what we did as well. Let's suppose during the year we got some like event what we call like the share dividend or even we got the share split. So it's mean what? You got more share in your hands. And based on accounting standard, they say you need to treat the new share just like, pretend just like you issue at the beginning of the periods. For example, in this case, that you got original share 60 millions. You issue a new share at 12 millions, and on June 17, you issue 10% bonus share. What that's supposed to mean? If you got 100 shares in your hand, you're gonna have another 10 share additionals. So that's why we need to pretend like every share from the beginning got additional share. In the ratios like 1.1, what that's supposed to mean? 100 share, you got 10 share more, so it means the multiplier will be 1.1, like this. So if you draw the timeline, you got 60 million share followed by 12 million share like this. We need to pretend just like 60 million share, they have the bonus issue at the beginning of the year. Same thing for on March, oops, sorry. Okay, here we go. So let's think about like for 12 million share here. This pretend like this 12 million share also got bonus issue. That's why we need to multiply by 1.1. Pretend just like the bonus issue for this particular share too, and we need to do the weight just like the same month. 60 million, 1.1 across 1 year. You got 66. 12 millions. Multiply by 1.1 as well, but you last for about 10 months because it's from March the 1st to December 31st. So the total share that could be your denominators turn to be 77. Alright? So that's the way it is when you have some transaction related to the share. Another issue that you can think of is when you buy the share back from the shareholders. Of course, when you buy the share back from the shareholders, the numbers of shares being reduced. So in this case, what happened? I just add one more transaction here. And of course, when you buy the share back, the number of shares that you reacquire or you buy back got to wait as well. And subtract from the share outstanding. So for numerator, okay, it's much better. No, the noise works. For numerators, the numerator is the same. It's going to be 154. Right? Nothing going to change. 154, just like that. It's still 154, but in terms of denominators, what happened? Just like you copy from the previous example, right? Because this is 2 shares remained in the same situation. 60 million share at the beginning, additional for 12 minutes, and we got another 10 bonus issues. So basically, you got this 12 over 12 plus 12, 1.1. Pretend like 10 bonus share being issued at the beginning, but it's weight for 10 over 12. Remain the same, just like from previous example, nothing changed. But the tricky part will be here, 8 million. 8 million share is acquired on October. So it means what? You buy the share back from the public. So it's not to be reduced for sure by 8 and wait by 3 months over 12 months because it's going to be last for about 3 months until December 31st. And that's the way it is when to do for EPS, earning per share. So this part comes to here. You're gonna get 154 over 75. Finally, you got 2.05 as the solution. That's the problem related to denominator. Sorry. Regarding the numerators, of course, this EPS is calculated for common stock or common share. Alright? So it means what? The earning here must be distributed to all common shareholders. Alright? But in this situation, for example, if the company got preference share, preferred stock, in this case, you got 2 types of share. One type is ordinary share, which is common to the public, and you got preference share because the shareholders got preference from the common stock. For example, they can get dividend before the common share. Just in case, this 154 here is not for only ordinary shareholders. It's got to be for preference share as well. So our job is, I want to find earning for these particular shareholders only. So my job is, I need to give something to this preference share first before give it to the ordinary share. So in terms of numerator, you got 154 like this. But in terms of preference share, what you got? You got 5 million share, 8% of 10 par. So think about this. 5 million share, multiply the par 10. You got 50 millions. This means what? 50 millions here, you got 8% of this 50 millions. This preference share got the right to claim on the dividend for 8% of 50 millions, which is 4 million. This is going to be the dividend belong to the preference share. Of course, we need to charge it from the earnings here. So you need to subtract by 4. So you're going to get what you get. You're going to get earnings for ordinary shareholders or common shareholders. After you subtract 4 millions for preference share. And the rest is the same from previous page. You got 150 over 75. So you got $2 per share, which is different from previous page. You got 205 right here. Now you got only 2 because part of your profit you got supposed to pay to the preference shareholders. That's the way it is. Alright? So basically for the basic EPS here, it's just like you have to think about, well, we need to calculate the earning for the common shareholders. So you need to get rid of the part that not belong here. Okay, hope that is clear for you guys when we calculate for basic EPS. So let's try to another example from the handout. This one I kind of mixed everything together in one example. In this case, you're gonna have like original shares and then issue the new share. Also got 10% of stock dividend, buy back the share and reissue. This means what? You resell them again. And also you got 3/1 share split. What that's supposed to mean? If you have one share, your share split into 3 shares. Alright, so what that's supposed to mean? The par value will go down when you do share split. For example, if one share worth for $30 per share, after you do 3/1 split, it means what? One share of you turn to be 3 shares. So it means each go down to 10. Try again. If they suppose you got one share worth for 30, which is the top. If you do 3/1 split, one share turn to be 3 shares. 1, 1, 1. But you're gonna get the same amount, so each turn to be 10. You still got 30. Like that. So when you do share split, you want the par value to be reduced. Alright? When you do share split, what happened to your earnings per share? Number of shares bigger. Earnings per share is supposed to be this net. Alright? So by doing like this, the gimmick is the same. When you do 10% stock dividend, you mean you have to pretend like this one happened at the beginning of the period. So if I want to calculate weighted average numbers of share, this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go down like this. I'm gonna write down the date first, and I'm gonna do the change in the share and the outstanding share. Let's say February the 1st, January 1st, you got 480,000 outstanding. Alright, 480,000 share outstanding. On February the 1st, you issue another 120,000. Right, I just like this to make it easy. So how many shares you got now? 600,000 outstanding. On March the 1st, what you got? You issue 10% stock dividend. So what that's supposed to mean? 600,000 shares got another 10% more. So you have more shares for about 60,000. So the total outstanding share now turned to be 660. On May the 1st, you buy the share back as a treasury stock. The outstanding share dropped to 560. On June the 1st, you do 3/1 split. Do we have money in? The answer is no. We just do share split. So it means what? 560 share here turn to be multiplied by 3. 1680. Right? From 1 share turn to be 3. So it means what? Outstanding share now from 560 turn to be 1680. Alright? October the 1st, you reissues 60,000 shares. The number of shares grow up to 1,740,000. Now you know outstanding share across time. Now it's time to weight it based on the outstanding share. The fractions of year. From January 1st to February 1st, this 480,000 shares lasts for 1 month, 1/12. From 600,000 shares from Feb to March lasts for another month. For 60,000 shares from March to May, March and April lasts for 2 months. From 50,000 shares from May to June lasts for 1 month, 1/12, right? From 160,000 here, from June to October, June, July, August, September, for about 4 months. From October to December, this share lasts for about 3 months. If you add all the number right here, you should have 12 months, isn't it? Because I calculate by spot of time. This outstanding share lasts for 1 month, and then your number of share change to 600. This lasts for another 1 month, number of share change to 660. This lasts for another 2 months, number of share drop to 560. This 560 lasts for another 1 month, number of shares go up to 1680, like that. Alright? And if you take a look, we do have 10% stock dividend. By 10% stock dividend, what that's supposed to mean? We need to pretend this 10% happened from the beginning of the year. So that's why I multiply by 1.1 and 1.1. What about the rest? You don't need to worry about that, because after March the 1st, it's already split. You need to mess with that. That's why you need to multiply only 2 numbers. Assume just like this outstanding share happened from the beginning of the year. One more thing you need to notice, we have 3/1 stock split. What that's supposed to mean? If you got 1 share, it's split into 3 shares. You need to pretend like stock split is right here, right? So it means what? You got to pretend just like this stock split happened from the beginning of the year. So it means what? For 80,000 shares, you need to multiply by 3, by 3, by 3, and by 3. We need to pretend just like the stock split happened at the beginning of the period. So that's why you need to multiply by 3 at the beginning across time. Then that's be done for the number of shares outstanding in each particular period. And finally, you're going to get the answers of the weighted average. That's why I told you this is quite tricky when you calculate earnings per share. It's not going to be straightforward. If the company got transaction buy in and out all the time, not just like numerator and denominator and that. No. Alright, so the amount of share based on my calculation, 132, 165, 330, 140, 560, and 55. 1760. That's the deal. Alright? I have another 5 minutes to go before I turn the stage to you. Another thing that you need to think about is not only we do have basics earning per share, if you have a complex structures of the equity, for example, let's suppose you have convertible bond. You know the word convertible bond? It's a bond, but the bondholder can convert to the shareholders, common shareholders. Alright? So not only we need to calculate the earning per share basic like this, you need to do another job we call diluted earnings per share. So in the common structure we have basics earning per share. But when you have we call potential common stock, you're gonna see the word say diluted earnings per share. Alright, just to get to know. I don't want you to calculate because it takes a while. Just to let you guys get to know, well, in the real world on the stock market, if the company got the complex structures, for example, they got some security that can turn to be common share. Why? Think about if you got convertible bond and the bondholder change their mind. I don't want to be the bondholder. I want to be the common shareholders. I want to exercise my right. For example, if you got one bond, you can change to be the common share for 3 shares. If the bondholders decide, I want to be the common shareholders, what happens to earning per share? Go up or go down? If the bondholder decide to be common shareholders, think about numerator and denominator. What happened? E over S. How many shares in here gonna blow up? Right? This is common share. Once the bond shareholder change to be the common shareholder, the share gonna blow up, right? So this go up. So what's gonna happen to your earning per share then? Should go down. But it may not be the case because of what? Things about the earning up here. When you issue bond, you have to pay interest, isn't it? You got to pay interest. Once the bondholder say, hey, I don't want to be the bondholder, I want to be common shareholder, do you have to pay interest? Yes or no? No, you don't need to pay because they change their mind. I want to be common shareholder. This means what? I want to be your owner. So you don't need to pay interest. So when you're not going to pay interest, what happens to earning? Go up or go down? Go up as well. So both can go up. Alright? But maybe this one go up less than this one go up. Or maybe this one go up more than this one go up. You're going to learn the technical term like dilutive earning per share if EPS drop. But we call another term anti-dilutive earning per share when EPS go up. I'm not going to teach you that. It's going to be a big mess when you calculate. Just to get to know. You are MBA student, not MS student. Alright? So that's why just get to know what if they change their mind. They want to convert their share from common share to, from bondholders to common shareholders. Of course, this one gonna blow up for sure. And you may think, well, if the earning is the same, EPS drop. But in this case, no. Because when the bondholders change to be shareholders, you save interest. The earnings go up too. Alright? This is one example of convertible bond. One more thing that you can think of if you learn in finance class, option.
If you are option holders, you have the right to exercise the option, turn to have more shares as well. If you exercise the option, what happened to the company? The company need to issue more share to you, isn't it? So what happened in this case? S go up. What happened to E? Nothing for option. So for option, when you exercise the option, you're gonna have diluted earning per share. Alright? Just to get to know more to learn in accounting world. It's just like preview. That's it. Okay? Now I'm gonna give the stage to you guys. Who's gonna present first for earning management?